All right, you might remember that last year Santa Fe decided to put up security cameras at vulnerable areas throughout the city to help catch criminals.
Or perhaps scare them off before they commit crimes. But following delay after delay, the project is still not finished. In April of 2013, the City Council awarded a $250,000 to contract Chavez Security Incorporated to install 34 cameras in 15 locations around town. More than 20 cameras are currently up, but some of the spots the city originally chose don't seem to work. Chavez Security says some sites either don't have any power or just didn't make any sense putting them up.
Let's make sure we don't do this again, that we don't haphazardly move forward with planning a certain contract knowing that we're not prepared to put it out for bids.
City Councilor Joseph Maestas there wasn't in office for the original vote, but now he and other councilors will be rethinking where the cameras would be most useful. All right, the first weekend of New Mexico's statewide ban on texting while driving came and went without a flood of tickets. State police say their officers wrote about 8 citations over the 3-day holiday. A first offense, if you include court costs and fee, will set you back about $82. Every offense after that will cost you $107.
Well, an accused killer right there, set free until his trial thanks to a Supreme Court order, is now back at the MDC, accused of trying to have sex with a 13-year-old. This after sheriff's deputies arrested Walter Brown in Albuquerque yesterday.
This is an individual that has gone through the court systems, is out on release right now, should be on his best behavior, and here again this individual goes out and reoffends with a 13-year-old girl.
As you heard the deputy there say, this time Walter Brown is accused of sending naked pictures and explicit text to someone he thought was a 13-year-old girl. Now, back in 2011, Brown was arrested, accused of stabbing a man to death in southeast Albuquerque. His stay at the MDC after that was quite short. His attorneys argued successfully before the Supreme Court that court psychologists said it was okay for Brown to get out of jail while he waited for his trial, and that his $250,000 bond was unconstitutional. The High Court lowered Brown's bond and he got out in April and is still waiting for the murder trial. Now, also in that case, a judge threw out Brown's confession, saying he does not have the mental capacity to understand his own rights. The district attorney's office says it's always argued against Brown getting out of jail, and it plans to file a new motion to change the conditions of his release this time. Elizabeth?
The FBI catches a guy they think is responsible for 2 bank robberies in the past couple of weeks. The feds believe a security camera helped to capture 21-year-old Joshua Abeda. As they say, he held up the Bank of Albuquerque branch on the west side Tuesday. They believe the picture on the right here is Abeda robbing a Rio Rancho bank last week. FBI agents and Rio Rancho police arrested Abeda yesterday. A dog's urgent need to go Monday afternoon caused its own special kind of mess. You see, a woman living on Old Santa Fe Trail called police reporting a possible burglar in her driveway. Cops say the first officer on the scene pointed his rifle at a man who turned out to be a well-known Native American artist, Mateo Romero. Well, he says his dog jumped out of his car and ran into the woman's yard to relieve himself. So he said he followed to pick up the poop. Romero says he tried to explain that to the officer who ordered him to the ground, cuffed him, and put him in a patrol car. Romero says he was terrified. Police say the officer followed standard protocol. Eventually, though, it was all cleared up. It looks like some Rio Rancho residents are going to have to wait some more to get an eyesore out of their line of sight.
Yeah, neighbors have been forced to live next to a burned-out home. It's right there for the last 3 years because of a legal battle they are not a part of. Back in 2011, his house near 550 in Chayote went up in flames. Last night on Special Assignment, we showed you it is still standing today. It's a mess. It's littered with debris. It's a major eyesore, to say the least. The city cannot order the owners to tear it down because the family is suing the city for negligence, saying firefighters were at a charity event and took too long to respond to a fire there. The city says that is not true. Though in the meantime, neighbors say the abandoned home has become a hotbed for trouble.
Gambit of ages come here. Drugs, alcohol. Sometimes they have little small parties.
Rio Rancho police tell us it will add extra patrols to the neighborhood. Elizabeth?
Albuquerque's fire department was busy overnight on Wednesday, shutting off gushing fire hydrants. AFD says someone was going around neighborhoods in the Northeast Heights, opening up at least 15 fire hydrants. Not only did it waste a lot of water, it could have created a dangerous situation. The loss of pressure in the area could have hindered firefighting efforts should there have been a fire.
When we do respond to fires, we depend on those working hydrants. So it's very concerning that people would go out of their way to turn these hydrants on.
A witness described a light or white, perhaps colored sedan in the area, but police have not captured the culprit. 9 projects underway or soon to start in the South Valley address flooding concerns, traffic flow, and safer routes to school for kids. Today, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Bernalillo County, the State Transportation Department, and others will hold a joint news conference to talk about those 9 projects. This is going to happen at 11 a.m. at the Shadyside Park on Isleta Boulevard.
So what do you suppose ever happened with Tesla? Do you think New Mexico still has a shot at landing a multi-billion-dollar battery factory? Well, yesterday, State Economic Secretary John Barella told a legislative committee that indeed we do. But he says details about negotiations with Tesla are still secret, and that's the way the company wants it. New Mexico is now competing with Texas, California, Nevada, and Arizona for the battery plant that's supposed to create a massive number of batteries and at least 6,500 direct jobs. And New Mexico really needs the jobs now because we keep on losing some to federal cutbacks. Still, the film industry here is a bright spot. It is booming, particularly when it comes to the production of TV series. Thanks to new incentives passed last year, 5 series are now being shot here. And Governor Susana Martinez's administration wants to use similar incentives to lure the producers of video games and apps here. You know, it's a big turnaround for the governor. She originally pushed to limit the film incentives.
And I think that the administration can't help but see what we do have and really is trying to work hard to gain the ground that we unfortunately lost.
What we're competing against is California. Its state senate is now considering a bill to make incentives there better than New Mexico's. The reason? Well, California has lost 16,000 film and TV jobs since 2004. They're coming here to New Mexico, Michigan, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, all major states.